all, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 1 effectively of the T4 version I'm doing, my own van. As you can see on the table here, we've got a solar panel that we're going to install. This is a 110 watt solar panel with fitting kit and cable entry glands. This is product supplied by Sunshine Solar. They are our go-to for solar needs when we carry out conversions. So let's get this mounted up and get it on the roof. Right, so that's the brackets mounted. These brackets are quite low profile compared to the normal ones that you see that are attached to a corner of a solar panel. Makes it a bit more slicker. So obviously we have these long bolts that drill through and fix the panel through the roof. This will be a temporary measure. I'll be putting nuts and bolts through in due course. Our flange has a nice area for a nice bead of CT1, but it also has the benefit of this extra lip. So what this will do, this will be drilled and then screwed as well. So we're not just relying on an adhesion for fixing this. We want to make sure it's not going anywhere. Obviously pilot holes and the appropriate drill piece or the appropriate bit for screwing down. So once your panel's up on the roof, you want to check that it's square, check that you're happy with your measurements, and then you can pilot your holes in your mounts. Once you've drilled all your holes, pop a little bit of CT1 or Sikaflex across. Take your screws or bolts, secure your panel down. And then want to turn your attention to the cable entry gland. Obviously this needs to be positioned with the rear facing forwards for aerodynamics. And for me, this will sit on the left hand side because it's the shortest route to my solar controller, which is pretty much directly below. So we'll get the hole drilled to pull the cables through, and then we'll fix the gland down. Once your hole is drilled and cleaned up, you want to protect your edges. So in this case, adding a primer will help protect those bare metal edges. Allow that to go off for a couple of minutes, and then we can get the entry cut through our rubber grommet and put our cables through. Okay, so here are our two cables for the solar. These will plug into our panel. It's then through our gland, through our blind grommet here with a cut, and then the end will feed down to the solar controller itself. I can now have Sikaflex added, and or in our case CT1, and that's ready to go on. Secured down, ready for termination to the panel. We can go inside now, connect the controller up, and add our panels. Okay, so this is all wired in, up and working. And so we see at the bottom here, we have the two cables that have been fed from the solar panels. I've left enough length on there to be able to relocate this panel because it's in a temporary location for us. This was just made up for me to be able to go away in the van for a couple of weekends and give ourselves some leisure battery power whilst we were away. So these cables run round and they go in to the positive and negative on the controller there for the solar panel. We also have positive and negative for the leisure battery This cable is only a 4mm square. I've only got 110 watts of solar on the roof at the moment. If I do decide to add another panel, I will be upping that cable to a larger millimetre square size to suit. It's just a simple control panel which we've got here, a 12 volt positive fuse box, a negative for those 12 volt supplies, and also a switch panel with a couple of USBs, an on-off switch, and as you can see the voltage currently reading 14.1, so the solar panel is doing exactly as it should. One thing to bear in mind when you do set up your controller is to let it know what type of battery you have and also how many amp hours you have. So the menus in here are able to tell us what we're going to use. I run a 110 amp hour AGM battery, so I've set it to gel, and also (110 amp hours for the size of the battery that we've got. So when you do set up your controller, do make sure that it is suited to your battery when you've installed and powered everything. So as you can see here on the display, we have 2 arrows coming down saying that solar is being supplied to the battery, and it also cycles the readings. You can change the speed of this cycle also, but it also just tells you there what voltage you have, what you're pulling, and yeah. So this is the ePever Triron. This is a 20 amp controller. I've gone for a 20 amp even though I've only got 110 watts on the roof, because I have scope then to add another panel if I so wish. So yeah, that there is the solar installed and all working. Okay, so that's the solar install complete on the T4. Need to give a massive thanks to Sunshine Solar for their products. You can check them out in the link in the description below. Also a massive thanks to you guys for supporting Trim Porters throughout our Facebook, our Instagram, and of course here on YouTube. If you haven't yet, do hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell notification so you know when we next upload a video. We'll catch you all soon for another video. I expect it will be on the T3 we're doing. We've also got the T25 build and also the long wheelbase Mercedes Sprinter coming back for its phase 2. So lots of good content to come up, and we hope you join us for it. Thanks very much.